There we go. That's Ini Kamosi there. And the hot stepper. Well, we can say a very good morning. Good morning to Dr. Computer.
Good morning, Jerry. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. We were just as we were sort of picking you up there. Sort of, yes, you know, it's all very ironic because tomorrow they sort of dropping the lay secca, but it's going to be sort of staggered a little bit, as I understand it. But it's Ladies' Day.
That is correct. So I'm guessing some ladies will be nice to their gentlemen and get them some much-needed alcohol so they can stagger as well.
You know, it's all rather nice because we can give them a list instead of giving us a list.
Like whiskey, bourbon, yes, there is a difference.
Oh dear. Yeah, it was getting to the stage where I was sort of rummaging through the bathroom cabinet the other day and found a bottle of alcohol, and it was looking really quite attractive.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking at sherry wine with new eyes right now, but I think I can hold out till tomorrow.
So how you been? What you been doing this last week?
Working. I'm blessed. Thank you, because I have the chance to work on my customers' needs remotely and have for a long time, fortunately. Now more of my customers are being, working from home or allowing some work to be done remotely, so that's even better. I think this kind of has made the whole world basically jump fast forward into like what probably would have been 5 years from now, where a lot of this technology is more ubiquitous in that sense. So fortunately, I have been having the chance to work all this time. It's just a little bit more frustrating because, you can't really leave the house. I have to walk my dog in the parking lot, and she's a little restless. She wants to go to the park as soon as, it's possible. So, yeah, it's not easy, but it's not hard either. I mean, one thing a lot of people have said, and this was mentioned a lot especially in Italy, our parents and grandparents had to leave their home to go to war. Now we just have to stay home and, avoid the thing. Yeah.
Do you think, because I guess a lot of people that perhaps weren't quite so tech savvy before the coronavirus and everybody was locked down, have sort of discovered new things, perhaps new ways of doing things. Do you think this is going to change the way that a lot of stuff is being done once this is lifted?
Definitely. For example, we've seen that there are companies such as hardware stores and such that have now implemented online buying. Some have improved their existing stores. Some have rushed out and just built something out of whatever was available and done a pretty good job. And there are a couple that just have a basic website and look like they don't know what they're doing. Hopefully it'll pick up. I have a couple of customers as well that have asked me about e-commerce, and the good news is it's a lot easier, faster, and better than it used to be. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an advanced scoop. It looks like you're going to be able to, if you're a small business or an individual, get money out of a Panamanian PayPal account using Banismo's Neki. So I'm going to have some more information for you next week. But yes, they're in talks with PayPal so that you can pass money on to Neki, and for a very small fee, I would say even reasonable, you can then use that money with any of the businesses that support Neki. You can pay your bills. You can do a whole bunch of things. So that's going to improve a lot of things as well. That's going to be interesting. I think a lot of businesses are also going to integrate with Instagram, because now you can do Instagram shopping as well. You see the catalog, you tap on something, and it takes you to a website. There's payment processors such as Páguelo Fácil and a couple of others out there that allow you to receive payments as well. And even some artists are using platforms like Patreon and OnlyFans to distribute their content, and they are getting paid in their Panamanian bank accounts. So it's a brave new world.
Oh, and we're joining it apparently then.
Oh yeah, some of us comfortably, others getting dragged, kicking and screaming into the 21st century. But yeah, it looks like that.
I tell you what, I've become quite a bit of a fan actually of Zoom. I hadn't sort of really used it, but we had on Tuesday morning, we had a link up. It was the 55th anniversary of when a whole group of us joined the Air Force when we were all 16, 17. And we had 24 of us on Zoom at 6 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and it worked brilliantly. Apparently, some of it's like a pub crawl because some of them were still there 4.5 hours later, apparently. And also I had another meeting on the Monday evening, which gave me a chance to try it out with one of the groups that I belong to. We got together virtually. And I mean, that really does make a difference, doesn't it? It's so easy to use.
Oh, definitely. Yes, it's easy to use. It's a lot more secure than people think, especially with the latest version, which will be forced upgrade after May 30. Zoom 5.0, Zoom 5.0 will support, and I've already updated my machine. I try to keep everything updated. It supports even more secure encryption and a whole bunch of other settings like defaulting to having a password on the meetings, that you have a waiting room as well. You can lock the meeting rooms after everybody has joined the meeting so that, any spurious people can't log in. You can also ask for registration so that only real email addresses can register. It's a very good tool that unfortunately has gotten a lot of bad press lately.
No, I mean, it really does work well. And in fact, it was in the news I heard this morning, one of the large groups, I think it was to do with education, that had banned Zoom from being used has now rescinded that and said that with their security updates, it is now fine. So, but what a great tool it is. I hadn't used that before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're referring to the news about the New York City Department of Education reversing the ban,
Maybe.
but a lot of places have reversed the ban because they've realized they were just, being overly cautious, maybe, or at least they were working on outdated information in that sense.
That's it. Well, one thing was very interesting yesterday, and it was very frustrating in actual fact because Christina, my good lady, she has been working with, I think it's Microsoft Teams, is it? And they have the chat on there as well. And she was chatting, and then what she wanted to do was send the contents of that chat to somebody by email or whatever. Did you know that you cannot paste or copy and paste the contents of the chat, which seemed to me absolutely ridiculous. And I went online, and people have been complaining about this for years, and you still can't do it. It says copy, you press copy, it won't paste it anywhere.
Interesting. Well, some programs do it out of, security concerns or whatever. So, are we talking about Zoom, you mean?
No, this is Microsoft Teams.
Oh, on Teams. Well, it could be a setting that you could probably look at on the settings on Teams, but you should be able to copy that. And if not, there's always the trusty screen capture, or there may be other ways to do it. I would probably have to look into it. I've never heard of this in particular, this case in particular, but still, there should be a way around it. There pretty much is always a way around it. I tried all sorts of things, and it did it once for some strange reason. So I went back to do it again because and then it wouldn't. And people have been complaining about this on the web because I often, I then go to the web and say, right, how do I do this? And it comes back. You get these threads, and people have been complaining since 2018 that they can't copy and paste. So it's very strange. Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it looks like it's something that people are complaining about since 2017. It's not
Yeah, I
an
know.
old problem.
Yeah.
So
And
I'll look into it. If I see any workarounds or anything like that, I'll definitely
I'd
let
be
you know.
interested. And of course, yesterday Microsoft launched, I think, 2 or 3 new products, new headphones, new earbuds, and a new Surface Go.
Hmm. Yes, I was looking at the news late last night and early this morning while making breakfast. It's a very interesting lineup. I mean, the Surface Book 3 does look pretty much the same as the previous one, but it's got 10th generation Intel CPUs. It's got NVIDIA video and graphics, which is nice. I mean, it's a pretty decent machine if you have to, like, edit video on the go, for example. And since it's got Thunderbolt connections, you can just connect it to one of their new docks for $260 or something like that, or there are a whole bunch of Thunderbolt docks out there, and you can have external graphics, you can have a decent monitor, you can do pretty much a lot of the stuff that you would usually relate to a desktop. And they're still a little bit heavier than the MacBook, but, you know, at under 4 pounds, I remember way back when the compact portable was like a 40-pound machine, so I don't mind for 4 pounds around if it's that powerful. And the Surface Go 2, which is slightly smaller and it's more portable, it's like an iPad that does Windows, and it only costs $399 for the simpler model, and it's not bad.
They've improved the processor because in fact I have my old Surface Go here in the studio. I have it in front of me and I write notes on it. But my complaint with the Go, and I got the higher price model at the time, it was too slow. It just couldn't cope with doing too much at any one time. But apparently they've improved it drastically with the processor.
Yeah, it's a new generation, an 8th generation Intel Core M. That seems to be up to 64% faster than before, and it's got a built-in LTE chip as well, which is interesting. I still haven't talked to anybody at any of the internet service providers about the LTE option, in the sense that if you buy one of these things, you know that usually the cell phone providers will tell you that if you're using your phone, you have a quote-unquote unlimited data plan. But if you're sharing your connection with a computer, you have a certain number of gigabytes, 1, 2, 3, 5 gigabytes or whatever. I used to have a plan for 30 gigabytes of sharing because I did a lot of work like on the road. But now that I'm home, I'm not really using it, so I turned that down. But still, it would be interesting to see if I put a chip in that Surface Go, would that qualify as its own internet connection, or would the provider detect that it's not a cell phone and charge me for shared data? That's an interesting question that we could try. Does your Surface Go have an LTE chip slot?
No. In fact, I don't think the LTE was out at the time. It may have been coming out a little, because I got this when it first came out. I think it was going to come out a little bit later. I noticed also, I mean, looking at the Go prices, yes, the highest priced model, which is around about, I think, $600 or $700, is the one with the LTE. So you're going to be paying, if you look at the different models, the 349 one is, or 399, that's the sort of the lowest. Then what it is you go on a little bit like you do with HP, and you can say what you want. And but there's still, I think, good value. But the thing that interests me is their headphones, because their headphones are pretty smart. They've now brought out new ones. Apparently they've improved it all the way around, improved the Bluetooth. I think they've now got Bluetooth 5 or whatever. And they've improved this and they've improved that, and it's $100 cheaper than the first one they brought out.
Yep, it's really interesting. And also the earbuds that they came out with give you all-day battery for less than the cost of your favorite competitor, which is the Apple AirPod.
Who? Well, the only thing I was just going to say that their earbuds, the ones that Microsoft, well, the only thing they don't have noise reduction, which I believe the new AirPods do.
Yes, the new AirPods do. And that's one of the things that I got from Samsung, the AirPod competitor. It's called the Samsung wireless earbuds 2, or I can't remember the actual product name right now, but they're actually pretty good in the sense that they don't have active noise cancellation, but they do have a pretty good seal, so it does a good job unless you're like in an airplane. And the great thing about them is that they have this external ambient sound mode, which lets you listen to your music or whatever, but not miss what is going on around you. Kind of like a reverse noise canceling, which is nice if you're like walking in the street or whatever, and you don't want to miss, a car coming at you or
exactly.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. And the great thing is I also use it, for example, when I'm doing like Instagram Live or like when I'm talking to you right now, and I can monitor my own voice as well and make sure that I'm using a decent volume and so on and so forth. So it's pretty good for that as well. So, but yeah, the headphones from Microsoft are also very interesting looking, and they have a lot of functionality.
And they have got dialable, the amount of noise cancelling, you dial it on I think it's got up to 13 or 14 different variances of noise cancelling. It's not just on or off. You can actually vary it, which is good. And talking about the buds, I've got the Jabra earbuds, and they have the same as what you were talking about. Because they're a very close fit in the ear, they do have the thing, you touch it, and it'll give you the exterior mic, so you can hear like you said, what's going on with the traffic around you, etc. So, yeah, great innovation.
Yeah, and from what I hear, the Surface headphones 2 should also last you up to 20 hours, even with the noise canceling on, which is very good for example, somebody who's all day in and out of Zoom and WebEx and Teams meetings. I can even listen to music between Teams meetings, so that's very interesting. Now, it does help if you have a Bluetooth 4 or a Bluetooth 5 connection, because it saves battery, it has better audio quality because of the audio compression standards. So I'm getting an upgrade for my Bluetooth, because the one I have is like Bluetooth 2 or 3 on the computer that I have at home. And I just ordered from Amazon a new Bluetooth 5 module for about $10. So that's coming soon. So
is that in a laptop?
No, it's a desktop machine. I also have a laptop, but I haven't used it that much lately because I don't have to go out of the house that much lately. But sometimes I'll sit in the living room or whatever for a change of pace, to put it mildly, and then I'll use the laptop. But lately I've been working mostly on my desktop.
All right, so new innovation. So what are you going to be doing for the rest of the day? Busy working?
Oh, definitely. A lot of work to do. My calendar's all probably blocked out. In fact, I'm going to open it right now. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy day from a couple of minutes from now till almost 9 p.m. So I'm glad I'm busy. A lot of people right now are struggling, and it's a blessing to be able to work.
I couldn't agree with you more, Alex. Well, look, you take care. Keep safe.
You too.
And I guess we'll talk to you again next week, all being well.
Hopefully. See you then.
All right. You and the family take care.
You too.